Hi, hello everyone. Did I tell you that the best time for doing a talk is just after lunch? That's my perfect time. So thanks a lot for coming. As yesterday, we will. I hope you will enjoy the session. Okay. Uh, I'm very grateful for the organizers of this conference. It's an honor to be here in Ukraine and with you, of course. Um, so let's assume that now. Let's assume that you are in your company, in your office. You are sitting in your desk. You are working, but you become thirsty, right? Thirsty, and you need a glass of water. What you need to do is you stand up and you walk to go to the kitchen. However, after a few minutes, you notice something interesting. There is a big, fat elephant just sitting in front of you and in the office. And you are shocked, right? Because elephants, it's not usual to see an elephant in the office, that's for sure. And anyway, you don't need to lose time because you are thirsty and you need water. And you pass it and continue to walk to the kitchen. And when you turn the corner, just in front of the door of your kitchen, there is another elephant. And it blocked all the way, so you cannot even go to the kitchen, and you're frustrated. Hey, first, you should not see an elephant in your room, in the office. The second, hey, what the hell? No, why no one noticed that elephant? And you turn back to the office, you look at your friends, and even you notice something even more interesting. There are lots of elephants in the office in different sizes. Some of them are small, some of them are big, some of them just sit on the table. Even some small ones sit on top of some of your friends' keyboard and looking at your friends, and your friend cannot use the keyboard, and he waits till that elephant leaves for a reason. And that's an even more shocking moment, because it seems no one sees those elephants, or people really, they try to get used to live with them. They are there, people know them because people feel them, but most of them, they just try to get used to live with them. Those elephants are wastes in your development career, in your office, in your source code, in your laptop. They are there, and what we need to do is we need to remove them, we need to eliminate them. They are the ones who decrease your productivity. They are the ones who decrease the satisfaction of your customer, and decrease the quality of your source code. We have to find them and eliminate them. I hope in that session I will try to show you the elephants in software development life, and I will give some tips how we can remove them. Okay. Just a short introduction. My name is Lemi. I'm from Turkey. I have lots of different feelings, but I'm now happy for sure. I'm very happy and to be here. I'm the founder of Software Craftsmanship community in Turkey. And I'm now working as a software craftsman in EasyGo. It's a stripe of Turkey, a payment service facilitator company. It's the second most funded startup in Turkey. Okay. All right, software developers. Hey, we are naive creatures. I mean, we have very good feelings. We are always optimistic. You know that. If someone asks you an estimation, you first start with the sentence. If everything goes well, it will complete in few hours. If everything goes well, every estimation starts with that statement because we are naive. We are the man with good feelings, you know, and we of course we feel that we will succeed. We will succeed because if we don't know something, we can learn. We can learn anyway. We are smart guys, of course. And most of the time, we are a kind of overconfident, you know. We feel that we can learn anything. If we don't know that technology, no worries. If we have enough time, I can learn and I can code it well. Deadlines, yeah, unfortunate. We have lots of deadlines, but if we have enough time, we can learn it anyway and we can do it right. I mean, what I produce is the right thing. I built the right product in a right way. We feel that we built what customer really needs. We have some ideas and we build it and we think that customer really wants it because we believe in that. We believe in that idea, right? And elegancy in our solutions is the target. I mean, we have lots of patterns in our mind. We have lots of technologies to put there, put Redis in the middle, and that microservices in everywhere. Yeah, of course we have one monolithic application, but let's split it into 50 microservices. And I guess in 1 month or in not a very short period of time, but if we have enough time, we can split it into 50 microservices. That is my life. That I already said it for a few times. Okay, but in the end, we built something scary. We built legacy applications from the first day. They are there from the first day. It's called the legacy. As Michael Ferris said, the code without tests is a legacy software. Legacy code, legacy applications, they are there. They are running. Your company gains money and customers use it. However, in order to make it live, you have to give your life energy to the application. But I call it legacy software is not a good word. Legacy is not a good word. I call it the zombie software. They suck your blood, suck your life energy to run on production. And you have to maintain it again and again. You have to fix and deploy to production again and again. And we have lots of ideas. Imagine in App Store, you know, the mobile app stores, thousands or millions of apps, they are there. And imagine how many developers are working to build those applications. And then see that forecast. So at the end of 2018, the percentage of applications that we can consider as a financial success will be around, will be less than 0.01. Wow, that's too few, you know, and which means so many smart guys, they are working for hours at nights and the whole day. They work together. They use test-driven development. They do pairs. They do code reviews. They do agile and everywhere. But the customers won't use their applications at all. Only the few ones will succeed. And that's the nature of our sector, our industry. That's software development. Oh, it's a little bit scary, right? And we have bugs. Of course, we have bugs because every software has a bug. However, we have time to resolve them. But we don't have time to build high-quality software. We don't have time to write tests, but we have time to fix bugs. That's unfair. That's unfair, what I can say. Because a few times, some of my friends told me that their managers do not allow them to write tests. Why? I was shocked because you don't need to tell them you are writing tests. Hey, they are managers. They don't need to know if there's a unit test there or not. It's a matter of quality. It's a matter of professionalism. It's a matter of software development. And also sometimes we are really focused on the processes. You know, we build systems and what the fuck? You know that one? That guy? Hey. What happened just a second ago? So that's a process, and we build processes. However, we forget something. Our products are used by the customers. They don't use our processes. So first, products should be high quality. Okay, waste are in everywhere. We are drowned in waste. Unfortunately, we build the wrong things, and we build the things wrong, unfortunately, and we are slow, we are unproductive, we lose time in debugging. And F8, 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 and you put your finger and wait till it goes away from your function, and it puts and you put lots of breakpoints and wait till your cursor just stops on the breakpoint that you really need. And after, when you look at your watch, you see that it's an hour passed. Hey, you know, it's debugging, and you spend just 1 hour and get nothing. And we have lots of ways. Our productivity is very crucial. There's an unfortunate fact. Customers don't care which languages we use. Yeah, we are .NET, C# developers, we use .NET, and we're Java developers, blah, and yeah. But customers really, they don't care, and they don't care if we do refactoring or not. They don't care if we are doing Scrum or not. If you do daily Scrums every morning, they don't care. Even they don't care our feelings. They just care to get maximum value from our products. And they have problems, and they expect to be understood and to be solved. They just want these, and therefore we have to change our mindset to build successful products. We have to think like a customer. I mean, as developer world, we need to have a mind shift to think like a customer. We have to maximize the values, okay, that we produce. Hopefully, we have agile and lean keywords in our life because they explain many important aspects of software development. Lean is a mindset as agile. Agile is a thought system, as a philosophy. You know, lean is very similar to that, but it has different perspectives, of course. And what we need to do is, if we need a lean mindset shift, first we need to think like a customer. We need to maximize the value that we produce by removing waste in our life. We need to remove those elephants from our life. Let's define the value first. What is a value? Value is any action or process that a customer would be willing to pay for. They have money, and they only give you if they feel that it's worth it and it's valuable. That's the way they behave. And what is waste? What is waste is if something has no value, it is a waste. or if something that decreases your productivity and it makes you do mistakes, and it increases complexity in your source code, that's a waste. We have to find them. We have to see them. Those elephants are there. They are just sitting inside your source code. Let's find some waste and eliminate. Okay, they are in our life. First, this is a photo that I took last year, I guess. This is my friend. While I was walking, just behind him, and I saw he was staring at the monitor, and I waited, and he stared at the monitor for like a few minutes, and I said, "What are you doing here?" And he said he was searching the missing single code. Yeah, perfect. Missing single code in such a big JSON, or I don't know which format it is, and it's not JSON, of course. And it seems he opened it at VI and started at the characters. Our life is very similar to that. We are spending tons of time of course, for a virtue, for a very important thing. We have to find that problem, we have to resolve it. However, we spend lots of time without any productivity. We lose time, we lose energy, and we lose, of course, productivity. Okay. I need to give two important quotes from two important names. One is Steve McConnell. From his book, he mentioned that the industry average for number of errors per 1,000 lines is 15 to 50. Wow, that's a lot. It means your source code might contain thousands of bugs already, and we haven't found them yet. They are there, they are waiting to emerge when you're on holiday, when your country is on holiday and you have to go to office and open the office because you will be the only one in the office for 3 days because it's a 3-day holiday. That is what I experienced, and it was like 40 degrees Celsius. It was really hot, and you know, I put off my clothes because it was too hot, and air conditioner was not working because it's a holiday and no one was in the office to help me, and I had to fix the bug and deploy to production alone, unfortunately. And Robert C. Martin, the author of Clean Code, Clean Coder, Clean Architecture, and Clean Star, and he says that the very first value of software is not functioning correctly. Wow, it's interesting. I thought that functioning correctly is the most valuable thing for a software. And he said, no, that is the second value, by the way. The first value is to tolerate and facilitate ongoing changes. Remember, similar to agile and adaptation to changes, that is very similar in software too. So the conditions change a lot in software development, and we have to adapt our program, our code, our application, our team, our organization, and that's the only way to build high quality software. We are surrounded with waste. Lots of waste. Let's talk about a few of them. Okay, so first, package organization. So you build you organize your packages like a controller, manager, utils, and aspects and domain model. We have tons of different package names And when you need to build or find or trace some issues in your login feature, you have to look at each package one by one. And you split all your domain into packages. And they are split it in the whole application. Even packaging is a big waste because it decreases your productivity. And commit messages and commit graphs, they are there to be read by developers, as I told yesterday in the session, but no one really cares to write a high quality, well-defined commit messages. They're there because we read to understand it. And if it's not written there perfectly, or if it's with care, we will have a trouble, of course. And we wait days, we wait weeks till the production release. How many of you deploy to production once or few times a day? Cool, perfect. It's congratulations. So it's a hard thing to do, but that should be the target. That should be the that might be the most important targets in your company, because in order to do that, you have to improve the whole process. The more you wait, the more risky your whole software development process, and the more probable that you will, when you fail, you will have hard times to detect where the problem arrives. And we do manual deployments instead of automatic or clicking the deployments. We run lots of scripts to deploy to production or dev or staging environments, and it's open to failure. I had a deployment experience there was an Indian team at India, of course, and we were in Turkey, and we had a production deployment. It took 6 hours. After 6 hours, the guy wrote the last sentence, the last message from the messenger. He wrote, "Thanks God." I guess he died, or he fell into sleep for a few days, and that should not happen, of course. And logging, now today it's the normal. So having a central logging system is a must today. So if you log into service one by one via SSH, and you run tail-f or tail-1000f output.log for each server one by one, then you will have then you have a big elephant just sitting next to you. So you will lose your time. Also, the whole team lose lots of time. We should have a central logging mechanism that collects everything in one single place, and of course indexes it, like in Elasticsearch. It's very common in these days. And we have unmerged branches. They are there, of course, because we need them, because we build features. Until it's ready, we don't merge them, right? However, if we leave them as unmerged, it means after a period of time, we won't be able to merge it easily. Branches, your commit graph is like a refrigerator. Every time you create a branch, it means you put something to your refrigerator. And every time you merge your branch, it means you remove something from refrigerator. And if you don't merge your branches and leave them as unmerged, it means you have a big mess in your refrigerator and some of your food will corrupt, will rot. So that is very similar. And debugging. If you do debugging, it means you are going too fast. In TDD, while implementing TDD, whenever I need debugging, I stop. I take a deep breath and I roll back my last commit because I need debugging. It means I'm going fast. I'm trying to eat a big stuff, and it should be as small as possible. So if you need a debugging, you have an elephant in your source code, it means. And if someone knows some part of your code and he is or she is the only one who knows it, that's too dangerous. And that means he or she is a silo. He knows or she knows everything, and your company will be in trouble. Your team will be in trouble. Silos are unacceptable. You should not allow in your team or in your company to experience an hero developer anti-pattern. Hero developers, they are developers in God mode. They know everything. If there's a bug, you go there, you go to him or her, and you ask advices, and they think a few minutes and they say, yeah, just look at that class, look at that method. I think in 2007 I fixed as a similar bug in that way, but it's a bit tricky. I think that the problem is there. Just look at it, and that's the exact thing I experienced. And we looked at the code, and yeah, the problem was there. He knows everything because he's been working in the company for years. He's a silo, and he should not be there. He should not be there. We should have known all those tricks. And we are designing. If we are building something, if we are writing code, it means we are designing. So, so there is an article, John Rees, in 1992, I guess, he wrote an article called what is software design? You can find it in the internet. That article might be the most important article, one of the most important articles in software development, and he says writing code means software designing. So if you write code, you have to know how to design software, and any problems in your source code might be related with the design of your code. So we don't know the details of like solid principles. We don't know how we can improve our code by decreasing the coupling and increasing cohesion. All those concepts are very important, and we have to talk in our team. We have to do pair programming, mob programming while building software in our team. That's the only way to distribute knowledge and experience and ideas within the team. And comments, of course. At some point of my career, I thought that writing comments is crucial, and I wrote comments on top of every single method. Even I wrote this. I wrote get package comment on top of get package method. That's so simple. The method name is get package, and the comment says gets package. That method gets package. So because I thought that writing comments is very important to write high quality software. Now comments you should not need to write comments at all, but if you need to write, it should need a real good reason, of course. And in one day, in one point of my career, I had to work on a project. I had to estimate the whole project, like 1,500 man days, and we designed everything from scratch at the first day, and it was changed after a few days. And all our work that we done for a few weeks we were just gone in few days. And there's a procedure in bug fixing, you know. Bug fixing is not said as, it should not be understood as it's written. So in the bug fixing procedure, first you have to write a test. The test should fail due to the bug, and you have to fix the bug. You have to see that test passes, then you can deploy. Then it means the bug is fixed. Without the test validating your bug fix, it's not a fix. That's the point. And manual testing, we spend hours, days, weeks for manual testing. Remember, with automation, we can eliminate most of them. And we love writing frameworks, even though only one guy uses it, or even we are the only guys who use that framework. It's weird, but every developer loves writing framework for themselves. Anyway, Niels Flagging said something interesting in the keynote of Agile Turkey Summit. He said, we zombify people by using wrong practices. Yep. And I extend that word, or that statement, we zombify people by using no practices. Sometimes in our team, in our company, we don't have any practice at all. We just write code, nothing special sometimes. So what should be the cure? We have to pay technical debt. We need a cultural shift, that's for sure, and we have to follow the Boys Code rule. So technical debt, I guess, I think that everyone knows what technical debt is, but how can we pay it? It should be paid continuously. For every sprint, you have to refactor some parts of your software. Writing just features is a deadly practice. Every software development team should spend their 20% of time at least not for just fixing bugs, also for refactoring the stuff, for paying technical debt. And we need a cultural shift, what we call is slowing down to go fast. You have to do pair programming, you have to do test-driven development to slow down, to build high-quality software. You have time for, remember, you have time for fixing bugs, but you don't have time for writing tests. So that's the point. Slow down, write your tests, and you will have a less amount of bugs, of course. And the Boys Code rule. Boys Code rule might be the most important rule in your software development team. Boys Code rule is one of the principles in my company. So Boys Codes leave a place better than they find it. So when Boys Code enters a place, it works there, it lives there, and whenever they leave, they clean there and they leave it better. So it's important to do in software development too. Whenever you open a class for updating the source code or adding some features, and when you see a method crying slowly and you hear a voice, crying voice, and that method is crying, you have to fix it. You have to do it now, because that's an important rule for software development. That is the Boy Scout rule. So in the past, we think that after we develop, we fix it. We fix the bugs. However, now we develop first, then we refactor. We did in the past big upfront designs. Now what we need to do is evolutionary design. The design should evolve slowly and gradually. And manual testing. In manual testing, we spent money, time, and energy. However, with fully automated tests, what we manually test should be worth for it. And we add comments to the code base. However, the code base should be clean at the end. Instead of doing big releases, we should have frequent short releases, as frequent as possible. And we first fixed test in the past and then test it. But now we first reproduce in test, then fix it. And after we release, we start to get feedback from clients. Now that is changed. You get your feedback from clients before you release to production a full 100%. Okay. So we have waste in everywhere. Waste-driven development simply defines that whatever we do, it's slow, it's unproductive, or it's for building the wrong product. Like if you're working alone, or if you have rework very at the end, it means you have elephants in your software development cycle. And if you feel like a newbie while using it, or while using your source code versioning system, it means you need to learn. You have to learn Git, and you have to start from today. Okay, we have to think differently, right? We have to think differently to understand what are the wastes, and we have to resolve them one by one. We have to define the definition of done, and we have to obey them. If you are developing software in your team, please, whenever you go back to your team, you ask if we have a definition of done defined. If it's not defined, define it. Or if it is not defined, or if it's already defined, then you should talk on it. You should discuss if it's the final version. And please keep feature branches short. Please use trunk-based development with frequent releases, of course, and automatic deployment steps. Pair programming should be, I think it's a must for sharing knowledge within the team and for building fast. Interestingly, in pair programming, building software is faster than usual. That is not a joke, because it's written in scientific articles. If you are not in the very beginning of your project or end of your project, if you are in the middle of the project, it means pair programming will make you faster. Interesting, isn't it? And we should let people think differently. So we do brainstorming sessions, and we talk standards and architecture and technical depths. Also architectural depths, we discuss them, and we put items to our backlog. And we discuss with product owners to let them put in to let them discuss with the teams and let them resolve in sprints. And we do grand retrospectives. You know, retrospective meeting that each team can discuss freely anything they want after each sprint in order to improve their way of working, of course. Grand retrospectives are the ones that the whole engineering team or more than one team can join and they discuss. And since it's a big meeting, they give feedback, positive and negative, and they define the technical depths. They define the elephants in the office, in the source code, and in everywhere. And we have to do differently. We have to let people do differently. We have to do code katas and via mob programming. We can call it as TDD Radori sessions. You can do coding dojos in your company and code retreats. They are there for practicing. They are there for doing coding, or they're doing our profession in a different way. We have to do it in our company. It's not a public activity at all. You can join public coding dojos, of course, but every company should organize in their office with the code, with the production code. Then people can start to think differently and do differently. In the past, I thought that TDD is a design practice. First testing practice, then a design practice. But one day I changed my mind. Uberto's tweet also mentioned the same exact thing. TDD is not a testing or a design practice. It's about thinking in sustainable pace. It's about the thinking practice. So the missing chain in our software development is thinking. So TDD makes you think in a sustainable pace. And later on, I collected my mind and I defined that TDD has more refactoring than testing. If you don't know refactoring techniques, if you don't know how to refactor your source code gradually and continually, it means your TDD might fail one day or another. And it has more simplicity than elegancy. It makes you build simple applications, not elegant ones. And it's a never-ending story. And elephants, they are in everywhere. And if you have overtimes, if you write time, if you use time tracking tools to track your time for, I spend 1 hour in that project, 2 hours in that project and such. If you have a dressing codes in your office, it means you have lots of elephants. So the main point is having the mindset while looking around, you should see the elephants and you have to take actions after you discuss with your teammates, of course. Thanks a lot for listening. If you have, do you have any time? I guess one. Okay, 1 minute. Perfect. 1 minute for 2 questions. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I mean, he spent, I guess, few minutes more. So, huh. Haha, okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay. Yeah, first, I didn't know how to find that missing code. Therefore, I couldn't help him. The main point is, if you need such a problem, you should not be alone. For example, in my company, pair programming is a must. It means a really must. Everyone should have a pair. Even the whole office organization is built as if developers work as in pairs. So if there's such a problem or similar problem, a weird problem, two guys should look at it. I'm sure while with discussing, they will find a better way for solving that. Yeah, okay.
Thanks a lot for the presentation.
Thank you.
Two quick questions. First, how do you combine evolutionary design and fixed budget projects? This is the first one. The second one regarding these grand retrospectives, where you basically, if I got it right, you just put there like a large number of people to have like the aggregate summary or something like that.
Yeah.
So the question is, isn't it kind of wasting a time rather than sending a very particular representative with very concrete kind of action items candidates, that kind of like Scrum of Scrum, so the retrospective of retrospective?
Okay, thank you. The first question is about fixed time, fixed budget, and evolutionary design. Evolutionary design is a design technique, and it doesn't mean you're gradually designing your software, and at some point you will lose your time will end. It means evolutionary design simply allows you to change, to adapt to the changes that you will get in the future. What I mean is, while designing your software, you might have lots of troubles. Some of them will be technical ones, like the technologies you use might not be the right one, or the patterns that you select might not be the correct ones. So if you design everything at the beginning, then it means changing those things will be costly. But evolutionary design, with evolutionary design, you build your software gradually, and I don't see any real contradiction with fixed time, fixed cost style development. I mean, maybe we can discuss to understand your question further, because I really cannot make them relevant. And the second one, for the grant retrospectives, grant retrospective is a feedback gathering meeting. It's not a real retrospective. Within the retrospective, teams discuss a lot. I mean, they have some ideas, they discuss, and they try to take actions. But with the grant retrospectives, they give feedback, because there's a huge community there sitting there. In that picture, we had 40 people sitting in the room, and hundreds of post-its are stick to the wall. They gave feedback without any limitations, but once important rule is that someone has to gather all those feedback and build a roadmap for resolving each problem. That is me. In the company, I collect every feedback. I share with management. I share with everyone in the team, and I organize several small meetings. Like in one of the case, in one of the post-it, we are forced to develop in pairs. However, some of us really hate pair programming, and that was a post-it that was written in the post-it, and what we needed to do, we have to gather again with small groups and discuss if pair programming is the right thing or not, or how can we improve our pair programming capabilities. It's a meta retrospective to collect ideas and do small retrospectives afterwards. Okay. I hope that helps. Okay, perfect. Thank you for coming. Enjoy.